Hey everybody, I just kind of want to give you guys some updates of what's going on. Basically a week now on keto, and it's going really well. There's a lot of things I still have to learn. I'm about 11 pounds down, I guess, depending on what scale you weigh me on. um, so that's really awesome. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to continue this journey on this keto thing. I'm feeling a lot better on it. I'm not quite as exhausted as I have been every day. Prior to keto, the first week of keto, you will have what's called the keto flu. The first 24, more than 24 hours. It's like 48 to 72 hours. And that's basically where you feel awful. You feel like death for a few days. If you get past that phase, you feel pretty great. So right now, I'm feeling good. I haven't had caffeine, like I said, over a week now, and that's been really good. So I'm feeling really great. Not exhausted every day. I'm not having headaches every day like I was, guys. I was having migraines almost every day for the past few months, which I'm sure is a combination between of what's going on with me and the pollen outside because the pollen sucks. If you live in Florida, the pollen here is awful. There's that going on. That's really great. I went to the doctor today for a follow up. I know you guys are kind of waiting. I texted a few of you guys, or a few of you have reached out to me. And again, I appreciate all of the support that I'm getting from everybody. Everybody telling me how proud of them, I am, to make them, or, whatever, getting choked up about it. Watching me on this journey. And guys, I appreciate that. Stuff like that really is keeping me motivated and keeping me going. And y'all have no idea how much that stuff means to me. Again, my family and Zach, thank you so much for going with me today and hearing some kind of awkward stuff about what's going on with me. But it's good to know. I think he needs to know. Like, he's living with me. We're together, almost together 6 years. Love you. But yeah, so he needs to know. He's been there for me, and he was there for me today. So just quick update again. I did labs a few weeks ago, and I did the glucose test. So you all saw me doing the glucose test. No, we are not pregnant. We are not trying to get pregnant right now. So that's not even in the works. I'm just trying to get myself healthy and everything like that. So no pregnancies. No analysis like that anytime soon. But they do the glucose test, just like they do for pregnancies. But major difference is the amount of sugar water. Sugar water is what it's called. But like normal people who go through pregnancy, they'll do 50, and mine was 75 milliliters of sugar water. Wasn't too bad. So if you ever have to do it, it's not awful. If they freeze it or make it cold like they do here at Florida Blue Quest Diagnostics, it's not bad. It almost tastes like a melted down popsicle. Had lemon lime. Wasn't bad. And again, I'm just putting more information out there than some stuff at times, just so if people are watching this and are going through it, they kind of know what to expect. You drink it at the beginning when you get there. Well, I'm sorry. They first draw your blood. So you get a baseline, and any other labs you have to take. So they do the baseline, and then you drink the sugary water. That's not awful. And then they do 3 more draws every hour. So you have to sit in there and wait for them to draw it every hour on the hour. So it's about 3 to 4 hour test. You cannot drink any water. None. Zero. Did not know that either. I thought maybe I was drinking this drink the entire time during it, but no, you drink it once after your first draw, and then they continue to take blood from you. So yeah, I felt like death afterwards. I felt really nauseous during different parts of it. Got a really bad headache at the end. Definitely, if you ever have to get it done, try to have somebody drive you home, because you do not know how you're going to react after it. So, Zach drove me home afterwards, and came home and relaxed. And the next day, I felt awful. I was super dehydrated. So I ended up having to miss work because of it, because I felt that bad. So again, everybody's different. Everybody's have different reactions, especially for what they're trying to find. So with me, they're trying to find out if I'm insulin resistant and PCOS. So those are basically, like I said before, the same thing, but one has a little bit more to it than the other. So leading up to that, went to the doctor today, and she ran me through the results, and I finally have a diagnosis, and it's I'm sorry. I'm so happy to finally have somebody who's listening to me and telling me, yeah, this isn't all what it's supposed to be like. Something else is going on in there. And it's really refreshing. It's not a scary diagnosis. It's just different. I'm going to have to learn to live, and lots of women have it and they don't even know it, or lots of women do have it and you don't even know it. It's PCOS. That's what I have. Polycystic ovary syndrome. That's what that stands for. One of the biggest factors is insulin resistant, and basically what happens is you eat a bunch of sugar, or you eat sugar and carbs, and this is where the keto comes in, and your body produces the insulin. Your pancreas makes the insulin. So I make the insulin fine. I can make tons of insulin. You want some? You can have some of mine, because I don't know what to do with it afterwards. Apparently I make it and it just kind of goes, okay, now what would you like me to do now? And the pancreas kind of goes, no, I'm just gonna hang out here, hang out with me. And they just kind of hang out, and it doesn't get distributed everywhere. So so my body holds on to all that stuff, and this is where the weight gain comes in. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're eating carbs and sugar, it's going to continue to stay there and hang on to your body. So that's why they recommend the keto diet. They recommend to go to the no carbs or low carbs and low sugar. So that's kind of the mystery to that. With that being said, again, I have PCOS. And there's things in my life I'm going to have to change. Like, obviously, I'm already starting the diet, starting different medications. I'm on metformin. Well, tomorrow, I guess I'll be on metformin because I didn't have it today. So I'll be starting metformin. And no, I am not diabetic. Diabetic and insulin resistant are totally different. Insulin resistant can put you to diabetes. So if it's not treated, if it's not taken care of, it can lead to other diseases such as diabetes. Yes, I have done a lot of research on this. I have done research on this since October. So I kind of already knew this diagnosis was hanging out with me. Knew it was kind of a thing with me, but didn't have paperwork to say it, didn't have a diagnosis code to say it. As us in the insurance world know, you have to have that diagnosis code, right? Or if you don't have certain symptoms, you can't have that diagnosis code. So she was able to diagnose me between the insulin resistance, oily acne skin, and overweight. You only need 3 of those symptoms to be diagnosed with PCOS. There's a lot of other symptoms that can be going with that. Unwanted hair is usually one of them. Cysts on the ovaries. You can have polycystic ovaries without having cysts on the actual ovaries. There's basically like 5 different types of PCOS, so you fit into different ones. So if you're more interested about that, let me know. I have tons of websites, books. I'll talk to you one-on-one about it if you're more interested, but it's just kind of a high level. So there's basically 5 different kinds, and I fit into one of those. So yeah, I was pretty emotional earlier when she told me, and again, not because it's like this horrible thing or something like that. It's just more the fact that I knew it. I knew something was wrong, and like I told y'all in the last video, and I've been telling people, if you feel like something is wrong, tell somebody. If you feel this isn't how I'm supposed to feel, these symptoms are not how I'm supposed to feel every day. Having a migraine every day for months on end is not normal, people. It's not. Surprisingly. And I went through it when I was 19 and had them every day for 6 months. Had no idea what it was. Thought it was pollen, thought it was this, thought it was that was my eyesight. And my doctor didn't want to listen to me at the time that I had, and just kept putting me on different medication, just kept popping me pills. And finally I gave up, and they eventually went away, and then they come back and go and come back and go. So hopefully with everything that I'm doing, it's going to go in a positive direction. I feel like it is. I have the proper resources with me now. I have the proper doctor with me now. Family, friends, Zach, everything is falling in. And I'm really happy about it. There's things that could happen along the way with PCOS. If I decide that I ever want to have kids, I might have a harder time than somebody else who doesn't have PCOS. So that's also a thing. Other things happen with it. I'm sure y'all don't want to know all about everything else, but if you do and you think that you have it, reach out to me. Let's talk about it, because again, the more and more I've been talking about it, the more uncommon it's become. When I first heard the diagnosis, never heard of it a day in my life back in October. Never heard of PCOS. Now that I've heard of it, I know what it is. I've talked to at least 10 to 15 women in my life that I already know that have it. and I would have never known because they didn't talk to me about it. And it wasn't as common as it is now. And it's almost like, I think almost as wide as 1 in 5 women, or 1 in 10. Don't quote me on those statistics. But I mean, if I know 15 women, now me, 16, that have PCOS, it's a bigger deal than we think. It's not just somebody having, and I know I'm really going on a rant right now, guys, and just bear with me. If you don't want to listen anymore, you turn me off. But I appreciate you listening to me. Um, but it's not just women having bad mood swings or bad periods or bad cycles or whatever else you think that could possibly be wrong with us sometimes. Sometimes it's really deep down and we have no control over it at all. You know, there's times where things happen, and again, this is getting me personal, and I told y'all originally, I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's been times where I've said stuff where I've gotten into a fight with somebody, you know, family, Zach, you can definitely ask both of them, and I'll say something really mean, and I'm like, why the heck did I just say that? Why would I say that? I'm not like that. And that's because sometimes you don't, all this stuff going on in here, sometimes out of control. Now that sounds like, you know, hey Jess, you know, people blaming stuff on their time of the month, you know, oh, she's being jerky because it's her time of the month. Yeah, sometimes women take advantage of that, and sometimes that happens, and you want more chocolate than normal because it's that time. But you know, maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's more going on than some people are listening to, you know? And I've been very fortunate for people to listen to me within my own life and talk to me about it and kind of go, hey, that's, you know, that's a red flag. You should probably go see somebody else about it. You should probably go talk to somebody else. And yeah. So again, I appreciate you guys listening to me. I've made some killer recipes lately for keto. I'm so happy. Because I don't cook at all. If you know me, I don't cook. Zach does the cooking. But I've made some stuff that he really likes, and that really makes me happy. I've made some chicken stuffed bell peppers. I've probably posted that. Y'all seen that. If you want a recipe, let me know. I just today made, I guess they're basically mini souffles. Sarah, thanks for that recipe. I appreciate it. Zach loves them. They're pretty good. I like them too. A little bit eggy, but I'm with syrup. I'm good. It's basically like mini quiche French toast. Pretty delicious. So yeah, so it's not all bad. So again, I appreciate you guys reaching out to me, listening to me, talking to me. Don't stop here. Keep it coming, and let's talk about this, guys. So yeah. Oh, just a quick follow up too. So I started the metformin, changing my birth control, and a few other things, hormone wise, and I'll go back in 8 weeks. So they took some labs today. I'll go back in 5 weeks to do more labs. And then I see them in 8 weeks for a follow-up. So yeah, but I'll be doing posts in the meantime for my weight loss updates. I'll do more videos of how I'm feeling and things like that. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, and y'all have a great week. Thanks.